I'm Tamika Alexander, and thanks for joining us. We will have more on what caused all of this in just a moment. But first, certain areas of Tuscaloosa experienced power flashes from transformers or power lines. WVUA's Travis Leader was out when this weather event happened. He has more on a house that was heavily damaged and joins us now. Travis.
Yes, Tamika, there are reports of widespread damage throughout Tuscaloosa County. Here at Midtown Village, you can see signs shaking and traffic lights were swinging violently throughout the area. There are some dangerous road conditions out in the Tuscaloosa area. Traffic lights are out at many intersections as well. Numerous power flashes occurred, and many residents in the area are currently without power. We just got word from Alabama Power that there are 17,000 power outages statewide. 6,500 of those outages are in their western division, and most of those outages are in the Tuscaloosa area. Now let's look at some storm damage I was able to get some photos of. This is off of Caplewood Drive, right by the University of Alabama Strip. As you can see, a tree snapped and fell onto a house, causing major structural damage. I spoke to one witness, and he says there was one person in the home at the time, but he was okay. Power is out in most of that neighborhood. Now let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. He joins us now from the weather wall. So Richard, this is a unique weather event, and there's little explanation as to why this happened. I heard people tell me they heard no warning about this type of event. Can you explain what exactly this phenomenon is and why it can't really be forecasted?
Yeah, Travis, almost impossible to forecast these things. This was not a severe thunderstorm. This was not a tornado. In fact, still a strong damaging wind event happening across our state. This is just a high wind event produced by something called a wake low. It's just a strong wind phenomenon across the southeast. And what's happening right now across central and west Alabama, the rain is weakening out there. And yeah, there's no severe thunderstorms on radar. It's just some light rain. But within that light rain, there's some very strong winds making it down to the surface. In fact, a wind gust 48 in Birmingham right now. Really windy tonight. 22 in Tuscaloosa. Winds are coming down across the western side of the state. We've had wind gusts reported over 50, 60, even 70 miles per hour over the western side of the state, producing an incredible amount of tree and power line damage out there. And again, it's this wake low moved across our state. Notice on the radar, nothing severe looking to this. In fact, just some light to moderate rain out there, but on the back side of the rain, that's where we had the wind. And what is a wake low? All right, ahead of the showers, you have rising air, rises well into the atmosphere, and then it sinks behind that, and that causes some pressure differences there, also causes temperatures to warm up quickly behind the rain, and that forms your wind. In fact, sometimes if the pressure gradient is strong enough, you can have very powerful winds, just like we had tonight, winds close to 60 to 70 miles per hour. All right, when's this mess going to get out here? We're going to have any more issues tonight. Your forecast is coming up, so stick around.
Thanks, Richard. Other big news is an outbreak not of weather, but of the flu. The flu has been spreading fiercely across the United States, with 41 states reporting widespread activity. And it's no different here in Alabama. Alabama Department of Public Health officials say they have tested samples from 100 people this week. More than half were positive for influenza. Flu is a very contagious respiratory illness, and the CDC emphasizes that the best way to prevent it is to get vaccinated each year. WVUA spoke with the Alabama Department of Health, and they say there is reason to be on alert, but this is not an epidemic in this area.
Yeah, we're monitoring it. We have a good deal of flu in terms of, again, it being above the baseline, but we are not, at this point in time, seeing any kind of, overwhelming, pressure on hospitals.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, this outbreak will cost employers and businesses big time. The CDC says the seasonal flu will cost businesses nearly $10.5 billion in direct costs for hospitalizations and outpatient visits for adults, and that number does not include costs as sick pay, work delays, and lost productivity. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older get vaccinated. Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox is taking time to reflect on where Tuscaloosa has been and where it's going as he leads the city in 2013. Maddox says the national championship win helps bring revenue into Tuscaloosa for roads, schools, and services. And with that is directly helping the city's recovery from the April 27, 2011 tornado. He says having the Druid City highlighted on a national level reminds people what this city has been through and how far it has come.
I'm as excited as anyone about the recovery because you haven't seen anything yet. we're beginning to see what it can be. But I'm really, and you never want to fast forward time, but I cannot wait to see how things look a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, because I think people will be very proud that we took our time and decided to get it right. It's not about where you are at the end of the first quarter, it's where you want to be at the end of the fourth quarter. And I'm very proud that this community chose to be very strategic, because what's coming up is great, and what's going to come is going to be even greater. And I think people will be very, very proud of it.
According to Maddox, the city of Tuscaloosa follows Nick Saban's 24-hour rule as well, and they are back at work to keep moving forward in the Druid City. Well, an Alabama middle school student was arrested today when he brought a loaded gun and knife to school. It happened in Bayou La Batre at Alba Middle School in Mobile County. According to police, school officials found a .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol and knife in his book bag, which was stashed away in the locker room in the gym. Police say the boy got the gun from a shed behind his parents' home. The student told police he was being bullied and brought the gun to school to protect himself. Along with being suspended, the boy also faces misdemeanor charges of carrying a concealed weapon and having a pistol without a permit. Well, back here in West Alabama, Tuscaloosa County Interim School Superintendent Dan Butler told WVUA they have taken new steps to increase security. Butler says they have deputies in each elementary school, and they're requiring all visitors to wear identification. And school leaders are looking into the possibility of getting locks for classrooms. Butler says the system already had security plans in place, but after Connecticut, it's a different situation.
We are the alert, we are on a higher alert now, but it does not mean that we have not been providing some safety at the classroom door in the past. But now it's wholesale throughout the school system. But we've got a lot of work to do to have maximum safety for the children.
Butler also added that he is thankful everyone is on the same page and working together to make schools a safer place for West Alabama children. Well, meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., it's the second day of meetings for President Obama's anti-gun violence task force. Today, the team met with the Rifle Association, anti-violence advocates, entertainment, and video game industry representatives with just days to go until the recommendations are presented to the president. Now, Biden says coming up with solutions to this national problem is not easy. And also in Washington, D.C. today, President Obama announced his pick for U.S. Treasury Secretary. He's nominated Jack Lew, his White House Chief of Staff. Lew played a key role in the debt ceiling talks in 2011. As he endorsed Lew, Obama also praised outgoing Secretary Timothy Geithner for his work to stabilize the economy.
So Jack has my complete trust. I know I'm not alone in that. In the words of one former senator, having Lew on your team is the equivalent as a coach of having the luxury of putting somebody at almost any position and knowing he will do well. And I could not agree more. So I hope the Senate will confirm him as quickly as possible.
Now Lew may have a loopy side. He has a very unusual signature. It includes random squiggles. It could appear on newly printed bills because the Treasury Secretary's signature is on every banknote printed while in office. Some say Lew may have to change his signature for the dollar bills. And if Lew is confirmed, he will be the second Treasury Secretary during the Obama administration. No timetable has been set for Senate confirmation hearings. In 2009, it took the Senate nearly a month to confirm Timothy Geithner. Well, several agencies back here in West Alabama received some much-needed cash to help support victims of abuse. The Alabama Department of Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention awarded more than $174,000 to 6 agencies here in West Alabama. The DCAP is an organization which provides resources to fund community programs committed to the prevention of child maltreatment. The organizations tell us they are grateful for any help they receive.
Will it make your lives? It will make our lives so much easier. We are overwhelmed and excited with the amount of money that they were able to award us this year. Times are tough right now, so we, of course, are very grateful for every grant award that we receive.
And the money will go to Big Brothers Big Sisters of West Alabama, Child Abuse Prevention Services, the University of Alabama Baby Talk and Parenting Assistance Line, Tuscaloosa's One Place, and the United Cerebral Palsy of West Alabama. And Alabama's brand new championship coaches trophy is on its way to Tuscaloosa. You can get your picture made with the actual Waterford Crystal football trophy won by the Crimson Tide. The coaches trophy will be in Tuscaloosa tomorrow, and fans will even be able to have their picture taken with the trophy. Now, the coaches trophy will be at the Tuscaloosa Walmart on Skyland Boulevard this Friday from 4 until 8 p.m. All you have to do is show up and have your picture taken. Son attacking the child with a knife and nail puller. It happened at the 20-year-old suspect's mother's apartment in Indiana. Dave McAnally reports.
Police grab and cuff the suspect outside the apartment where a toddler was stabbed to death, stabbed in the head.
They were screaming at him to put his weapon down.
Hours later, police still on the scene to learn why 2-year-old Michael Harrison died.
Arrested in this case was the 2-year-old's father. He's identified as Micah William Harrison.
Here's Harrison's mugshot from a 2009 arrest for assault. The suspect is 30. He and the victim and apparently 2 other young children are from Robertsdale, Alabama. Why they were here, unclear, possibly visiting relatives.
There's been a number of people that we've been in contact with, and the mother has been contacted.
Does the mother live here?
It's our understanding that she does not live here, that she lives in Alabama.
Just before the stabbing, witnesses saw the suspect with the little boy victim and 2 little girls. The kids were playing in the snow.
He yelled, he screamed at the little boy, "Get back here," and took off running after him and grabbed his coat and spanked him. He's very angry.
About an hour later, the stabbing. Motive unclear. Police wanted the arrest well publicized.
Because we want our community to know. We want citizens to not be alarmed, and to not be worried that somebody might still be out there on the loose. So.
For neighbors.
It breaks my heart because, I have kids, obviously, and I don't know how somebody could hurt, especially hurt their own child.
And that was Dave McAnally reporting. The suspect made an initial court appearance today in Noblesville, Indiana.